And a new library of Python, which is pandas. So in this class we are going to talk about the pandas, that what is it and what the panda is used for and how we are going to use it. So actually the panda is an open source Python package that is mostly widely used for the data science and data analysis and machine learning tasks. And in fact that if you are going to work with the data while using Python, then you are going to learn the pandas. In fact, by using the pandas, we can load, prepare, manipulate, model, and analyze the data. So whether if we can join the data, if we merge the data, and we can shape the data, so we are using the panda and for that. So actually panda make it simple to do many of the time consuming tasks, which is related to the data cleaning, data field normalization, merge and joins, data visualization, and many other things. So in this class we are going to go through different panda library functions, which are series and data frame. Okay, I will just quickly go through some functions of the panda library, and then I have some exercise for you people, and then you have to go through them and try to solve it by yourself. Okay, so the first panda function is series. You know that in the last class, in the last lab, we demonstrated the numpy. So actually the series is kind of a numpy, but it's come with some kind of the access label, meaning that it can be indexed by the label instead of just by a number location. So creating a series in Google Colab, so we can import two different function and libraries here. One is the numpy is np, and the other is pandas as pd. So these are from the last lab, and we demonstrated how we can label and my list, and how we can demonstrate array and a dictionary in our Google Colab. So if we are using a series function, so you have to just write a function like a pd, which is used for the panda library dot series, and then you can type of data is equal to my list, which is mentioned here, and it will demonstrate the result of this function will be as you can see that it comes with a 0, 1 and 2. So this is the index that the series giving to us. And if we try to demonstrate it with the numpy array, so we can see that it just give us array which is a 10, 20 and 30. With the series it comes with the index, which is just mentioned with the front of the series. Okay, so by default the series just come with the 0, 1 and 2, but if you want to change the label index, so just mention it here. Index is equal to label. As we can see that above we mentioned the label is equal to ABC, so the index will come as an ABC in front of the array. Okay, so now we can use a series as index. Panda make use of these index names are numbering by allowing for a fast lookup for information. So we have two different kind of series here. One is a cell Q1 and the other is a cell Q2. So the cell Q1 comes with the data which is 250, 450, 200 and 150, and the index we have and the index that we are using for it is USA, some country's name. So when we try to just demonstrate in a Google Colab, so the series result will be shown as such. Similarly, the cell Q2 comes with those numbers and with those countries. Now if I want to just a cell of US country, so for that I have to mention that command like a cell Q1 and just mention the USA country, and which other country if you want, just write the name in it, and it will give you a separate cell of that country. Similarly, if we want to know about the sales of the Japan, so again sales into Q2 and just directly name of the country, and it will come with the result of that country. Okay, so if we want to add two series together, So So this is the command that we are going to use, cell q1 plus cell q2. So actually it will come as such. Now if you can say, if you can see that there is a none come into this, because in cell q1 there is no cell for the Brazil, and while in cell q2 there is no cell for the Japan. So if such information is missing inside the series, so the outcome of the series will come as none, which is not available at that moment. Okay, so this was about a series. Now the most important library which is commonly used in Panda is data frame. The data frame is actually it's a bit like array, but it is a two-dimensional data structure, and it consists of a table with a row and column. So this is the function which are we going to build a data frame inside of Colab. So for that I am taking the two arrays. One is calories, and the numbering are mentioned in that list, and one is the duration. Now if I want to make a data frame from it, so the function that I will use for it is that pd dot data frame and is into the data in which our array is mentioned, and just print it, so it will come as such. As we know that series and using the data frame, so the index will also come with this. Okay, so there are some other function. I will just quickly go through it. Actually, we just to discuss this the random function. Actually, it's under NumPy. So I am going to develop some kind of table. So for that I am using an array function, and in array function I am using list. So the value of that is between the -100 to 100, and I am giving that command which is 5 4. That 5 is actually a row, and 4 comes for a column. So when you try to just execute it, so it will give a data frame in that form. Oh, okay, so for that I actually mentioned the column numbers and the index number as such. So the column goes on the top of the side, and the index access come along with the rows. Okay, so again, if I want to take a data for just a simple column, or just for a simple series, so for that I am using that function. Just grab a single column and for that I am using the df command, which is come for data frame, and in that I use just a w the column which you want to work on it, like separately. So just write a column name inside it, so it will just execute the single column out of it. So again, if I want two columns out of the whole matrix which is mentioned above, so for that I have to write df with w and y, and the result is mentioned as such. Okay, so if I so the next function is that if I want to add some new column inside our data frame, so for that I use a command df new, and just I want to add two columns. Now it's depend upon you that which column you want to take. So I am just taking the column like w and y, and I want to add it, and I want to add in my data frame. So when I execute that command, so the result will come as such, and as it is, as you can see that the new column is already just mentioned here, and it add the w and the y column numbers with each other. Okay, so if I want to drop that column for some kind of calculation, I don't need that column inside in my data frame. So just use a command like a df.drop, and which column you want to drop it, so just mention the name with it, and use the x is equal to 1 for the column, because without mention that x is equal to 1, the drop function will not work. Okay, so it was about the column. Now if we want to work on the rows inside the data frame, like I want to add rows with each other, like I want to extract a single row outside from the data frame. So for that I use a command .loc, and it will function as same as we mentioned for the column. Okay, so I just want to need 2 rows out of the whole data frame. So for that I'm using that function .loc, and I just want to take these 2 columns A and C. So I just write that function as such. Okay, so this is some other kind of function which is again used for while working on row, and for that you can also mention as 0, like if you mention the row by the integer index location, so the 0 will be used for the first column and 1 will be used for the second row, and 2 will be mentioned for the second row. Okay, again, so if I want to remove a row from my data frame, so for that I use again a drop command, and for that I want to drop a C row from my data frame, and for the row I have to mention the x is equal to 0. For column we have to mention x is equal to 1, and for the row we have to mention x is equal to 0. Okay, so these are some of the conditional selections inside the data frame. Like I have that kind of a data frame in which we have the row and column values. Some are the positive integers and some are the negative integers. So I want to know about the positive integers, so I need a positive integer. So for that I'm using that function that my data frame should be greater than 0. So it will come with that kind of a result, like the positive integer it will come with the true values, and those with the negative values it will come under the false name. Okay, again this is a subset of that conditional. If you use that subset function, so it will just automatically remove the negative values from your data frame, and instead of negative values it will come with a NaN value by just using that command, which is df greater than 0, and it come in a subset of df. Again it come with the x. If you want to get the value of the x with the positive numbers, so just put a name of the x row, x column, and it will greater than 0, and it will come as the result as such that x values will be greater than 0, and all the negative values it will just extract from the data frame. Okay, so the next function which are going to explain, which it is a index detail. Like if we want to reset the index, we can use different kind of function for it. Okay, so I have a data frame, so I want to reset the index. So for that I just use that function reset / into index, and it will come as a result. Now as we saw that the previous index was A, B, C, D and E, so it just reset the index which is a by default come in our series, which is a 0 to 4. Okay, again you can add your own index into your data frame. So here I want to just put some city's name as an index, so just write the function for it. I just wrote the city's name, and I put it in a df cities command, which is my assigned value, and I just add it into my data frame. Okay, after adding a data frame, you have to just put set index, and in what column you want to set index for your data frame. So you can write a command for that, which is df.setIndex, and put your that cities inside it, and it will automatically come as a index value. Okay, so the other function is related to the missing data. While sometime we have come with the data frame in which some values are missing. Like in that case, we have NaN values inside the column A and column B. So for that, if we want to replace that missing values with some other values, so we can use a different functions for that. Okay, so the first function is to how to remove the missing values. So for that we use a command which is a drop NA. So it will drop the NaN values from the data frame. Okay, now again if you want to drop the column and the rows, so just use the drop NA function, and if you want to drop the column, so just use the x is equal to 1, and if you drop the row, so just x is equal to 0. Okay, now the next function is filling the missing data. Okay, now if you want to fill the missing data inside your data frame, so just use function fill NA and just put any kind of value. So it will automatically replace the NaN value with that value which you put inside your fill NA function. Okay, so the main important thing that we while working on a Panda is to store a big data set and to use a CSV file inside the Panda. So this command is about to how to load a CSV file inside the Google Colab by using the Panda. Okay, so for that I'm using some CSV file which I taken from the kaggle.com website. So now I have to upload it into the Google Colab, and for that I'm using that function. So from Google Colab import files, actually the file is in my local disk, and from that I'm uploading the data CSV. And to read the CSV inside the Google Colab, so I'm through Panda library, so I'm going to use that function pd.readcsv, and this is my CSV file name, and just shift enter it and it will come. Actually that is the Excel sheet. Now if I want to upload it on a Google Colab, so it will look like as such. Okay, so that data come with the 168 rows. Now if I want to need just 5 rows of that data, so for that I'm using the head command. Actually the head give me only 5 rows of it. Okay, so if you want to remove the header from your data, so for that we are using the header command. Just write and header is equal to 1, and it will automatically remove the header from your data. Also you can write end rows command, and the end rows is used for like how much rows that you need for your calculation. So for that you can use end rows is equal to 3. So instead of 167 rows, it will just give me a top 3 rows. So that is all about the Panda library and its function, that how we are going to load the CSV file and how we are manipulating the data frame and all this stuff in a Google Colab. So for that we are using the Panda library. Okay, so these are some kind of the Panda library. If you want to explore more Panda functions, so for that the link is given, so you can go and check all other Panda functions inside it. Okay, so this is a small exercise for your people. Just take any CSV file from that website, upload it in Google Colab, and then display a first 5 rows of the dataset by using a head command, and in that just replace any value with the known value, unknown value with the known value, and then perform a data frame task on a CSV file, convert your CSV into the data frame, and then save your new CSV file from the Google Colab into your local disk. So that will be your task, and if you people have any question, so just ask from.